Well guys, I think it may be that time of the week again where we roam about the globe and take a look at some of the most terrifying visual onslaughts that horror cinema has to offer us. So far we've zoned in on Korean horror as well as Australian and most recently the terrifying revenge thrillers and folk horror of the British Isles. While as it's in close vicinity to the latter, it's probably high time to pop over to the continent and take a look at what horror cinema has to offer over in that vibrant tapestry of cultures and character, or as I like to call it, Europe. Hello horror fans, what's going on? And once again welcome back to the Scariest channel on YouTube, top 5 scary videos. As per usual, I'll be your horror host Jack Finch, as today we curiously take a look at the top 5 scariest European horror movies. Roll the clip.
Province de Longsheng, 1912. Cette femme ne croit pas en Dieu. Elle a essayé de voler une poule.
For the curious amongst you, that clip was from the stomach-churning 2008 film Martyrs, written and directed by Pascal Laugier, and if I'm being honest, it definitely deserves to be on this list, but I'm redacting it because really, it's an incredibly acquired taste, and it's definitely not for everyone. So consider its place as today's clip as an honourable mention. That also segues us neatly because Europe is an incredibly diverse continent, and there are far too many great horror movies for them to all make this list. So honourable mentions go to Let the Right One In My Skin, Funny Games. Yeah, you get the picture. Kicking off at number 5, High Tension, 2003. Whew. Wow, what a way to kick this list off, because this film, for sure, isn't for the faint-hearted. It's important to note that at the turn of the millennium, a cinematic movement emerged out of France known as the New French Extremity, which formed a group of transgressive filmmakers such as Gaspar Noé and Bruno Dumont that sought to push the boundaries of taste in French cinema, particularly horror. Their new cinematic style exemplified violence in film and purposely stripped away any sense of on-screen humanity. Now, the vast majority of the New French Extremity isn't for everyone, but in my opinion, the best of the best and the most palatable is 2003's High Tension, released in the UK as Switchblade Romance. High Tension, written and directed by Alexandre Aja, has a pretty cut and shut plot, and I mean that literally. It tells the tale of Marie and her friend Alex, who find themselves on the run from a serial killer who breaks into Alex's parents' house. Start to finish, High Tension is a complete and utter bloodbath, and it lives up to its namesake in full through its 90 minutes of screen time. There's not much more to it really, and this film really needs to be seen to be believed, but the closing act of 2003's High Tension may leave you a little more wide-eyed than you'd ever have expected. Coming in next at number 4, Goodnight Mommy, 2014. Oh man, this one is creepy, and if like me, you have a fear of the uncanny elements of humanity and are spooked at the thought of your closest friends or family may or may not being replaced by a doppelganger, then you'll absolutely love this film, or be completely terrified by it. Either way, it's a winner. Like many Austrian horror films that predate it, the beauty of 2014's Goodnight Mommy lies in its simplicity. Two twin boys, Elias and Lucas, are concerned that their mother isn't their mother as she returns home covered in bandages after undergoing cosmetic facial surgery. Sounds simple enough, right? Well, thankfully for us, there are so many levels of fear in this film that it can't ever be taken for granted. Written and directed by Veronica Franz and Severin Fiala in their debut feature film, Goodnight Mommy falls within the same vein as 1973's The Other, a nostalgic thriller like no other, as well as the absolutely insane 2003 Korean psychological horror, A Tale of Two Sisters. Again, I don't want to spoil anything, but what sets Goodnight Mommy apart, aside from its absolutely stunning cinematography, is that cold, lingering balance of familiarity with the unknown, so often captured in European cinema. Yeah, this one is a must watch. Swinging in at number 3, The Orphanage, 2007. And we definitely can't talk about European horror cinema without giving due credit to the incredibly unique and distinctly terrifying world of Spanish fantasy horror and the formidable and talented filmmakers that follow suit. Headed by the Mexican author and horror aficionado our boy Guillermo del Toro, Spanish and Mexican cinema saw somewhat of a renaissance since his release of Cronos in 1993. It was only fitting then that del Toro himself saw fit to co-produce 2007's The Orphanage, because he, more than anyone, saw how uniquely horrifying it could be. And guess what? He was right. because the Orphanage manages to deliver all of the spooks without ever spilling a single drop of blood. Written by Sergio G. Sanchez and directed by Juan Antonio Biana, The Orphanage tells the tale of a young couple, Laura and Carlos, and their adopted 7-year-old son, Simon. Laura returns to the orphanage that she grew up with her husband and adopted son in tow, with the intention of reopening the orphanage and giving back to the system that had saved her as a child. While Laura's good intentions soon store up the ghosts of the past, and that's all I'm willing to say without giving away any spoilers. Listen, straight up, 2007's The Orphanage is just a straight up fantastic horror film. It's first and foremost a classic ghost story, yet still manages to be incredibly original in its approach. Every single scene in this film is earned. Trust me, it's worth it. Next up at number 2, Wreck, 2007.
Vale, pero enciéndela, por favor.
Ya está.
And you may be sensing a theme in the next few points because, as it turns out, 2007 was perhaps the greatest ever year for European horror cinema. And also, Spain was killing it by knocking out some of the most terrifying and unique films of the decade. Good job, Spain. Double also, the fact that this film isn't just a foreign language film, but also a found footage film is testament enough to how damn good it actually is. For those of you that haven't seen 2007's Wreck, it takes the widely worn out found footage genre and manages to do something often rarely executed with the form: be genuinely scary. And it really is, while never once turning down the genuine authenticity captured from a camcorder. Written and directed by Jaime Balaguero and Paco Plaza, Wreck tells the tale of Angela and her cameraman Pablo, 2 documentary journalists who run a small late night TV series called While You're Sleeping. Their newest focus is the fire service crews of downtown Barcelona, yet whilst they're filming the show, the fire crew gets a call. An old lady is trapped in her apartment, yet she's acting a little bit strange. I don't want to ruin anything because Wreck is an absolute tour de force of horror, and once those few opening moments are set, it never once lets up delivering the scares. Honestly, forget everything you ever thought about jump scares. Wreck just seems to be immune to every single stereotype. It's an enigma and it's awesome, and please don't watch the remake, stick with the original. And finally, coming in at number 1 spot, Inside, 2007.
Monsieur?
I honestly don't know what to say about this film, and for once I find myself a little bit at a lack of words. Inside, directed by Julia Mori and Alexandra Bastillo, is one of the most insane horror films, if you could even call it that you may ever see. Start to finish, this film will make you feel sick, it will make you feel uneasy, it will make you want to pause the entire film and not watch anymore. And if you're a woman, this film has a whole new layer of fear. It falls much in line with the style we spoke about earlier, the new French extremity, although by 2007 the former reached a plateau and things needed to be turned up a notch. This is the result, but what sets Inside apart is its pastiche to Italian giallo cinema. It doesn't just rely on violence and gore, but on the psychological implications. Saying that though, Inside is perhaps the bloodiest damn movie ever made by anyone, anywhere. It tells a tale of Sarah, a pregnant woman whose husband died in a car crash, but she and the baby survived. She's making preparations to give birth, but just before she gets picked up to head to the hospital, she receives a knock on the door. And I'll say no more, because as soon as that knock hits, we're on a runaway train of a movie that you'll more than likely have to watch through splayed fingers. This film really is something else, really. And if I haven't convinced you already, I'm not sure what else will. Just watch it. It's crazy. Well, there we have it, horror fans, our list for the top 5 scariest European horror movies. What do you guys think? Why don't you let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below, as well as any choice picks that you have of your own. I'm predicting quite a few recommendations for this one. On that note, horror fans, unfortunately that's all we've got time for in today's video. Just stick around all the way until the end. It's been a blast as always. If you're a fan of this video in particular, or just top 5 scary in general, then please be a dear, hit that thumbs up button as well as that subscribe bell, and we'll be seeing you in the next one. As per usual, I've been your host Jack Finch. You've been watching top 5 scary videos, and until next time, you take it easy.